Who wrote The Shining? Stephen Crane, Stephen Foster, Stephen King. Stephen King. What describes the Borogoves in Jabberwocky? Droopy, slithy, mimsy. Mimsy.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Who wrote Life on the Mississippi? Nathaniel Hawthorne, Kurt Vonnegut Jr., Mark Twain. Kurt Vonnegut Jr. Who wrote Frankenstein? Mary Meigs, Mary Martin, Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley. In which country might you, most likely, attend a kabuki performance? Yugoslavia, Java, Japan. Japan. Who wrote Walden? Ralph Waldo Emerson, Henry David Thoreau, William Makepeace Thackeray. Henry David Thoreau. What was Charles Dickens's last novel? A Tale of Two Cities, Little Dorrit, The Mystery of Edwin Drood. The Mystery of Edwin Drood. Who wrote The Last of the Mohicans? James Russell Lowell, James Fenimore Cooper, James Earl Jones. James Fenimore Cooper. Which historical event does Charles Dickens's novel A Tale of Two Cities concern? The Russian Revolution, the American Revolution, the French Revolution. The French Revolution. Which of these novels would be considered dystopian? Brave New World, Little Women, David Copperfield. Brave New World. What writer of the Harlem Renaissance studied anthropology at Columbia University and did fieldwork in the American South? Zora Neale Hurston, Claude McKay, Langston Hughes. Zora Neale Hurston. How many novels did Emily Brontë write? 3, 7, 1. 1. What is an antonym for dismantle? Remake, clothe, assemble. Assemble. Who wrote the children's classic Where the Wild Things Are? Maxine Hong Kingston. Edward Gorey. Maurice Sendak. Maurice Sendak. Who wrote Jane Eyre? Jane Seymour. Emily Brontë. Charlotte Brontë. Charlotte Brontë. Which books is said to have contributed so much to popular feeling against slavery that it is sometimes cited among the causes of the American Civil War? Ben-Hur. Uncle Tom's Cabin. Gone with the Wind. Uncle Tom's Cabin. Who wrote The Bluest Eye in Beloved? Amy Tan. Toni Morrison. James Baldwin. Toni Morrison. What is a synonym for noticeable? Conspicuous. Hidden. Unavailable. Conspicuous. Who wrote the autobiographical Black Boy? Richard Wright. Malcolm X. Langston Hughes. Richard Wright. Who is the protagonist in Crime and Punishment? Alyosha. Raskolnikov. Stavrogin. Raskolnikov. Which novel brought E.M. Forster his first major success? The Longest Journey. Howard's End. Where Angels Fear to Tread. Howard's End. Whose novel The Time Machine is set in 800 and 2701 CE? Isaac Asimov. Ha Jean. H.G. Wells. H.G. Wells. Whose novel Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep was adapted for film as Blade Runner, 1982? George Orwell's. Philip K. Dick's. Aldous Huxley's. Philip K. Dick's. Who was the author of The Grapes of Wrath? Pearl S. Buck. John Steinbeck. William Faulkner. John Steinbeck. Who wrote Cat's Cradle? Tony Curtis. Kurt Weill. Kurt Vonnegut. Kurt Vonnegut. Who among these writers was initially known as an interpreter of New Orleans culture, but was rediscovered in the late 20th century because of her concerns about the freedom of women? Emily Dickinson. Kate Chopin. Alice Walker. Kate Chopin. Which of these writers often deals with the experience of Indian immigrants in the United States? Rabindranath Tagore, Salman Rushdie, Jhumpa Lahiri. Jhumpa Lahiri. Which American writer is considered the originator of the modern detective story? Harriet Beecher Stowe, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe. Allan Poe. Who wrote Song of Solomon? Olga Tokarczuk, V.S. Naipaul, Toni Morrison. Toni Morrison. The title of a novel published in 1961 entered the English language as a reference to a problematic situation for which the only solution is denied by a circumstance inherent in the problem. What's the novel? 1984. Fish or Cut Bait. Catch-22. Catch-22. What is a synonym for moist? Swimming, damp, parched. Damp. Which of these writers reconstructed in Wide Sargasso Sea the earlier life of the fictional character Antoinette Causeway, who was Mr. Rochester's mad first wife in Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre? Margaret Drabble, Janet Flanner, Jean Rhys. Jean Rhys. Which American novelist was famous for his depiction of the Jazz Age? F. Scott Fitzgerald, Alex Haley, William Faulkner. F. Scott Fitzgerald. Who wrote Moll Flanders? Fanny Burney, Daniel Defoe, Aphra Behn. Daniel Defoe. Mira Cohen appears in which of these novels by George Eliot? Daniel Deronda, Adam Bede, The Mill on the Floss. Daniel Deronda. Which of these novels was not written in the 19th century? The Old Curiosity Shop, Robinson Crusoe, Little Women. Robinson Crusoe. What is considered the first Australian novel? Marcus Clarke's His Natural Life, Henry Savory's Quintus Servinton, Rolf Boldrewood's Robbery Under Arms. Henry Savory's Quintus Servinton. What kind of book is a Nebula Award given for? Romance, poetry, science fiction. Science fiction. The novel Death Comes for the Archbishop recounts the story of French Catholic missionaries in the southwestern United States. Who wrote it? Lucy Maud Montgomery, Willa Cather, Louisa May Alcott. Willa Cather. Who wrote Cry, the Beloved Country, a novel that helped focus global attention on the injustices of apartheid in South Africa? Nadine Gordimer, Alan Paton, Brayten Breitenbach. Alan Paton. Who wrote Fahrenheit 451? Ray Bradbury, Ray Charles, Raymond James. Ray Bradbury. What is the name for a record of a period in a person's life? Short story, fiction, diary. Diary. In which century did science fiction become a major type of writing? 20th, 17th, 19th. 20th. What was Daniel Defoe's last major work of fiction? Roxana, Moll Flanders, Robinson Crusoe. Roxana. Which novelist was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1986? Aung San Suu Kyi, Elie Wiesel, Alfonso Garcia Robles. Elie Wiesel. Who created the amateur detective Ezekiel, E.Z. Rollins? Walter Mosley, Sue Grafton, Patricia Highsmith. Walter Mosley. What was the first of J.R.R. Tolkien's novels to be published after his death? The Two Towers, The Silmarillion, The Return of the King. The Silmarillion. What was the first book in the Harry Potter series? Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Harry Potter and the Giant Snake, Harry Potter and the Hendersons. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Which of these literary movements was concerned with clear, direct expression? Neoclassicism, Surrealism, Imagism. Imagism.
Like, comment, subscribe, see you next time.